I'm sorry for the delay. Okay, so I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Katelijne Haube. I'm the Global Networks Coordinator at VLIRUOS. And I will guide you through this session today. Next to me, I also have my colleague Clara. She's a communications manager, and Janine, she's our data solutions officer. They will take care of the chat today. And there is also Aimo, he's our mobility and scholarships officer, and he will help me guiding you through this presentation today. Just like maybe a fun fact, our colleague Janine, she's also a former VLIRUOS scholarship holder. So all the more welcome, Janine. What will we do today? We want, of course, to give you a clear overview of the scholarships we are offering for studying in Flanders. We will start with some promotion. We will tell you something about VLIRUOS, and we will also explain you why it's such a big thing to come and study in Flanders and in Brussels. From there on, we'll look at the purpose behind the scholarships, and we'll also guide you through the range of study opportunities. Next thing, we will walk you through who can apply for the scholarships, and followed by a step-by-step explanation by how to apply. And finally, we also go to the scholarship details, explaining you what the scholarships are covering, not only financially, but also in practical support. Then we will have a short break, and we will give you the opportunity to ask us any question you might have. So we will start with the introduction. I will first tell you something about Belgium, about Flanders, and about Brussels. And then I will tell you something about our organization, VLIR-UOS. So Belgium, Flanders, Brussels. I hope you heard already something about us. Belgium is situated in Western Europe. It's a very small country. We are only 11.7 million inhabitants. But we're next to some bigger countries, the Netherlands, Germany, and France. And there's also even a smaller country next to us, that's Luxembourg. Belgium is composed of different communities and regions, and it has at least 3 official languages, Dutch, French, and German. In the north, you have Flanders. There people are speaking mainly Flemish or Dutch, as you can also say. Wallonia is in the south. There the people speak French. And then in the middle, you have our capital. It's quite special. It's officially bilingual, and official languages are French and Dutch, but also a lot of people are speaking English over there. You see, Belgium can seem a quite complicated country, but please don't worry. As a student, you don't have to navigate any of that, hopefully. So you might be wondering, why should I go to Flanders? Why should I go to Brussels? Why should I go to Belgium? I can give you some good reasons for this. Of course, there's excellent higher education. We also are a diverse and multilingual society. We are at the heart of Europe, and we also can say we have a high quality of life. Of course, you don't have to believe me, but you also can listen to the first-hand experiences of students who are still studying with ICP scholarship right at the moment. And you can find their testimonies at a small video that you can see at LinkedIn. You can see it. I think my colleagues now will be putting the link into the chat, and you can also find it back on our PowerPoint presentation that we will send you later. They will tell you all about their life in Brussels and in Flanders, and it will be more personal than I can do for you today. Excellent higher education. I think that's maybe the main reasoning why you're listening to this presentation today. I can say that all our Flemish higher education institutions are offering world-class quality. Year after year, you can find our universities at high positions in the official international rankings. And our universities are the 5 first logos you see here on the slides. All of them appear in the Times Higher Education Top 400. So just to make a difference, so universities are research-intensive universities offering academic bachelor's, master's, and also PhDs. And then in Flanders, we also have 13 universities of applied sciences and arts. And these are higher education institutions with a strong practice-based focus, and they offer, among others, professional bachelors. Anyway, I think this is a fact. We are a diverse and multilingual society. And I think it's also great reasons why you should come and study in Flanders and in Brussels. As I explained to you already, Brussels is officially has different languages and is officially also the most second diverse city in the world, right after Dubai. And I think that says something. So wherever you come from, you're almost certainly to meet people who share your language, your culture, or your interests. And then on top of the 3 official languages, Dutch, French, and German, a lot of people and students are speaking English. Flemish higher education is also becoming more and more international. At least 14% of all the students enrolled in Flemish higher education institutions are international students. They're bringing, I think it's interesting, perspectives from all over the world. Yeah, another reason to study in Belgium is, of course, because we are at the heart of Europe, where major cities as London, as Paris, as Amsterdam are very close by. Moreover, you can reach almost every other European capital within 2 hours by plane or even by train. But what's also a fun fact is that actually in Belgium, Europe is coming to you. Maybe you know this, but Brussels hosts institutions as the European Commission, the European Parliament, and also the NATO headquarters. And this makes Brussels also an excellent country if you want to network. And then that's maybe less a fact, but more an opinion. We also offer high quality of life. I think all the elements are present in Belgium for a very cosmopolitan life. We have excellent food. We have chocolate. We have Belgian fries. We have beer. We have amazing sport facilities. There's a lot of green. You can bike a lot. We have top-notch restaurants, also snack restaurants, very cozy cafes, a vibrant cultural scene. So actually, Belgium has it all. Some might say that Flemish students are more reserved. Maybe Flemish people are a bit reserved, but I'm sure that after some while, this impression will soon vanish once you get to know them better and that you will be warmly welcomed. So, now, I hope you have a little sense of what makes Belgium and Flanders such an interesting place to study. Let's take a closer look at who we are as an organization and how we can support your academic journey. So that means VLIR-UOS, and that's the organization that's actually behind the scholarships we are offering. So exactly what is VLIRUOS? And I can already pronounce you the word VLIRUOS. It might be a very difficult word, but also for Flemish people, it is very difficult to pronounce. But what it is standing for? Part of the name is standing for Vlaamse Interuniversitaire Raad, which means actually Flemish Inter-University Council. And then the next part of the name stands for Universitaire Ontwikkelingssamenwerking, which actually means University Development Cooperation. But actually our work goes far beyond universities alone. We also collaborate with all universities of applied sciences and arts in Flanders. and so making sure that a wide range of higher education institutions are part of our international partnerships. And that's also something I want to express. All this wouldn't be possible without funding of the Belgian government. Or so as VLIRUOS, we're organizing a lot of projects, and actually with these projects, we aim to bring higher education institutions in Flanders and also in the rest of the world together. And we support these institutions in building partnerships, in conducting joint research, in developing new educational initiatives, but also in strengthening institutional capacity, both here in Flanders and also in what we call sometimes the Global South. Now, most of our projects, and you can then see them all here on the slide, are research focused. And a smaller part of our portfolio is actually, it's about education. And the most important program on education, you can see it in the middle, is the ICP Connect program. And that is actually our scholarship program for international students. Let me tell you a little bit more about ICP Connect and its scholarships. ICP Connect programs are actually a set of fully international master's and bachelor programs in Flanders and in Brussels. And which makes these projects very special is that they bring actually global perspectives into the classroom and they foster also strong partnerships across the world. And it's actually the VLIRUOS scholarships that play a key role in making this international learning environment possible. Because they allow international talented students from all over the world to join these programs and contribute to this rich and diverse academic community. Next academic year, we will be able to offer in total 202 new scholarships. So that means 202 students we hope to give a life-changing experience. But, and this I really want to stress, our scholarships are more than just an opportunity to study abroad. We see them as an investment in people who can make a difference. What we want to do is to support future change makers, and we see them as individuals with a drive and a vision to create positive impact in their home countries and in their home regions. So yes, of course, a scholarship opens doors for personal growth, but above all, it helps shape future experts in fields that matter for social progress. And just something small to tell you, like each year we're taking surveys with our students who passed who finished their program, and yet every year again, students indicate, for example, that the intercultural skills that they learned during their ICP scholarship program is actually one of the most important social skills they gained during their studies. And this is something we are particularly proud of. About our scholarships. And this is also something I have to say that they are very great scholarships, but they come with certain limitations, as to say. They're not open for everybody. They're only open to applicants from 29 scholarship countries. I will show you the list of these countries later on. There's no free charge. They're only intended for specific bachelor and master programs. Next academic year, we will be able to offer 20 bachelor and master programs. Each program also has a limited number of scholarships they can provide, and that can vary between 8 or 12 scholarships depending on the program. And this I also want to stress is that we don't offer any PhD scholarships. So they're only scholarships to come and study in a professional bachelor or in a master program. On this world map, you can see the countries or scholarship countries, and you have to look at the countries that are or in green or in the bright blue. On this slide, you can see it maybe better. We offer a lot of scholarship to students from Sub-Saharan Africa, to students from Middle and North Africa, to students from Latin America and the Caribbean, and also to students from East Asia and the Pacific. And you can find the list of our scholarship countries also on our website. This slide gives an overview of all the programs we are offering. They're all in the north of Belgium, so in the Flemish or Dutch-speaking part, so we call Flanders, and in the north. We have programs in Ghent, in Bruges, in Brussels, in Antwerp, in Geel, in Hasselt, and in Leuven. So both at universities and universities of applied sciences. In the next layer, in the next slides, I will provide an overview of all these programs. I will not go into detail, but it will give you already a slight idea. We offer 2 professional bachelors. These are 3 years programs. What is special about a professional bachelor is that they are very practice-oriented bachelor degrees. They prepare students directly for a specific profession with a strong focus on hands-on skill, internships, and also real-world experience. And there are universities of applied sciences that are offering these professional bachelors. The rest are masters, and they're offered by universities. We have initial masters that take 2 years, and are actually meant for students who have already an academic bachelor. So you can also see they're offering between 10 and 12 scholarships, depending on the program. And then you also have advanced masters. There are only 5 that take 1 year. And actually, these advanced masters are meant for students who have already master degrees and who are seeking specialized studies. Just to give you an example, this academic year, so 25-26, we were able to offer 225 scholarships. From students from 22 different nationalities, and the average age of our students is 28. This year, the top 5 of the nationalities, people are coming from Kenya, the Philippines, Uganda, Ethiopia, and Indonesia. This top 5 depends a bit from year to year, but globally spoken, often students are coming from these countries. So this was what I wanted to tell you today, but I will pass the word to Aimo. He's our scholarship and mobility officer. He will explain you how you can apply for a scholarship and what the conditions are. And he will tell you also something more about what it really means to have a scholarship. Maybe when in the future we will be mailing with a person who's called scholarship at VLIRUOS. It will be my colleague Aimo.
All right, so now we'll go into the eligibility and selection criteria. First of all, very important, our nationality and country of residence criteria. You must be a national and a resident of one of the 29 eligible countries. You can find the list on our website, but these should not necessarily be the same. For example, if you are a Congolese student and you live in Morocco, you can apply, but not if you're a Congolese student who is living in, for example, Syria, because Syria is not one of our countries. As for the age criteria, on January 1st of the year of intake, so that is coming 1st of January for the intake of September 2026, you should not be older than 35 for initial master or bachelor, not older than 45 for an advanced master, and for the bachelor programs, you should be at least 19 years old. Quite important, you should only apply for 1 ICP Connect scholarship per year. You can apply, of course, for different programs, but not for the scholarship. But if you want to get a VLIRUOS scholarship, you can apply for only one of the programs. You may apply for other kind of grants or organizations that provide scholarships, but in the end, if you get two, you will have to choose. You can only receive one scholarship at a time. Also important, you may not previously have received a scholarship from the Belgian government or have enrolled in a Belgian study program. The students we target are mostly employed in higher education, government or civil society, or those targeting a career in these sectors will be prioritized. However, other strong candidates, of course, will be considered as well. If you apply for selection, you will be asked to provide a motivation letter. And of course, relevant here is that the motivation is related to your goals within sustainable development, and that is pertinent to the study program. We particularly put emphasis on your potential and commitment to become an agent of change after your graduation. We give preference to candidates who can implement or transfer their new skills in a relevant context within their countries of origin or their broader regions of origin in a relevant context, so higher education, government, civil society, or the private sector. In the final selection, we target a balance that is between male and female candidates at the end. But also a regional balance. So we target a reasonable cross-section of scholars from different countries and regions. Of course, countries that are on our country list, provided there are sufficient qualified candidates. In case of equally qualified candidates, preference will be given to candidates from vulnerable groups. And we also give preference to candidates who have never received a scholarship to study in a higher income country. So that goes for bachelor, master, but also short courses. So how is the application process structured? First of all, check if you're eligible based on all the criteria we ask. Have a look at our website, learn more about the programs we support, and then you can apply for academic admission and the scholarship at the same time through the institutions. So to apply for a scholarship, you go to the institution offering the program, not through VLIRUOS itself. And then it's important to take the different starting dates and deadlines of these programs into account. For all the programs, it is different. Most of the programs end either end of January or end of February. But one of the programs is already ending on the 30th of November. This is the Mundus Tropicalis program. So all of the programs are at this moment accepting applications, but really check the deadlines so that you're not too late to apply for a scholarship. The institutions are responsible for the selection procedure, and they will inform VLIRUOS, so us, of their selection of candidates. So if you have questions regarding your application or the technical questions about the selection process, you should contact the institution directly, so the higher education institution, meaning the university or University of Applied Sciences. Then we will contact only those that are selected and are put on a waiting list. And this will be end of April or May. If you're not selected for a scholarship, you'll be contacted by the university or University of Applied Sciences. After admission, so this is if you are selected, we will ask you to finalize your file and check your information in our online tool to accept the scholarship offer and help you prepare for your travel to Belgium. Important already is that you, of course, have a passport that is up to date with enough space for a visa. And we will help you with visa regulations. For example, as a scholar, you're exempted from an application fee and retribution fee in Belgian diplomatic posts. And we will help you book a flight, or the universities will help you book a flight. Important to note here is if you're selected as a scholar, we cannot arrange nor act as a guarantor for your family members. So this is something you would have to organize yourself. And it's quite a difficult and lengthy procedure in Belgium. What does the VLIRUOS expect from its scholars? Of course, that they respect the regulations of the organizing institution and regularly attend classes, and that they attempt to complete the program within the provided time. More relevant for VLIRUOS is that they participate in the student service we send out, and then that they are motivated, the students are motivated to return to their home countries and regions after the end of the scholarship to apply their skill in a relevant sustainable development context, because this is, of course, the entire goal of the scholarship program. We will help you with the visa application, of course, and the whole preparation of your trip, but we don't have a direct financial relation with the scholars. So this is the organizing institution, so the universities or universities of applied sciences, that have the financial responsibility and are responsible for the payment of the amount of the scholarship. Now, I'm talking about the amount of the scholarship, but you might be interested to know in what is included and what not in this amount. The scholarship is an all-in study allowance of 1,400 euros a month, which includes living expenses in Belgium, health insurance, installation costs, and the tuition fee in Belgium. You pay as a VLIRUOS scholar the lowest applicable rate, so the same as Belgian or EU students. This is around 1,100 euros per year. Now, depending on the institution, you either pay for your own insurance, tuition fee, and accommodation out of the scholarship, or the institution covers these costs directly and subtracts them from the monthly allowance. Each institution organizes this a bit in their own way, so you will receive information about this from them. You will receive an allowance for the complete duration of the scholarship, so either 12 months for the advanced master, 24 months for the master programs, or 36 months for the bachelor programs, regardless of the day of arrival and departure. In the event of urgent medical reasons, your scholarship can be postponed or in rare situation prolonged, but this is only in for special occasions. And maybe also important to note is that scholars in 2 or 3 years ICP Connect programs can take a summer break. For the 2 and 3 year ICP Connect programs, the scholar must make a minimum of 42 ECTS of study progress. So a full study program is 60 study credits, and you must make a minimum of 42 ECTS points study progress after the first year to keep the scholarship during the second year. This is to motivate students to end their studies in time. A similar rule for the 3 year ICP Connect programs. The scholar must take a minimum of 84 credits after the second scholarship year to keep the scholarship during the following year. You can find a full overview of the amounts of the scholarship and its regulations in our scholarship framework, which is available on our website. We will also share this PowerPoint on our website, so you can find the link there. If you get a scholarship, you are, of course, also entitled to a return ticket, economy class to Belgium, including any necessary local flights at the start of the scholarship, and a return ticket at the end of the scholarship. And if you're doing a 3 years bachelor program, you're entitled to an additional round-trip airline ticket once in the duration of the program. So during the summer, that is. What other costs? Okay, when you apply for a visa or if you come to Belgium, there are, of course, other costs you make. There are a few costs that cannot be additionally reimbursed that are already within the amount of the scholarship. So this is, for example, medical expenses or legalization of documents. But there are a few expenses that can be additionally reimbursed. So, for example, if you need an overnight stay or the responsible diplomatic post is not located in your country of residence and you're required to travel to another country to apply for a visa, then we can additionally reimburse you or help you financially. Then maybe a last little thing. Is it possible to combine work and studies? Because we get this question a lot. It is possible in principle, with the caveat that it doesn't harm your study progress. Legally, you can work during the period of validity of your residence permit, but it's limited by the Belgian government to a maximum of 20 hours per week and to a certain amount of hours per year. That is 650 hours. You can't work, of course, when you're supposed to be attending classes or any other activities related to your study program. Maybe also important is you're not allowed to work during the summer before the start of your first academic year in Belgium. I'm providing a link below here in the slide where you can find more legal information on this topic. Okay, that was the presentation from our part. We will take some time to take questions now. We will have a short 5-minute break so everybody has the time to post their questions in the chat. We will try to answer your questions directly within the chat, or if they are important questions and we don't have an easy answer, I will take them up. We will talk about them. So we have a 5-minute break now. Take the time to put questions in the chat. One person asks, am I still eligible for the scholarship if I already have a degree from a higher education institution in the Netherlands? This makes this person still eligible, but you have to note that preference will be given to candidates who didn't have the chance yet to study in a higher income country. Another question is where to find the ICP scholarship application form. As I said during the presentation, to apply for a scholarship, you go to the institution's website. So you don't apply for the scholarship through VLIRUOS, but directly to the higher education institution where you apply for both the program and the scholarship. Another question was, should the professor issuing the recommendation letter for a scholarship be a doctorate degree holder? The answer is not necessary, but this should be consulted further with the specific program you're interested in and applying to. So this you should check with the higher education institution that organizes the program. Another question is about what degree you need to enroll in an advanced master, and if you can enroll in an advanced master with a bachelor's degree. Typically, advanced master's programs are for those who already have a master's degree, but some are open to 4-year bachelor graduates of 4-year bachelor programs. You should check this again with the institution organizing the program in question for specific details. There were also a lot of questions about English requirements. Each time this depends on the program you apply to. They all have their specific admission requirements. They have specific policies about English proficiency tests. So you should reach out directly to the organizing institution again. Then a more general question was whether it is required for scholarship students to return back to their home country. Our scholarships are meant to support change agents, so students who put the knowledge they gain during their studies into practice in their home countries. But this is not a legal obligation. This is the goal of our scholarships, and of course, sometimes students have other opportunities after they graduate, but it's not per se the students that we target. If you don't speak English, this scholarship program is maybe not meant to you, but I have to mention that we also have a French-speaking sister organization who is active in all the French-speaking universities in Belgium. They are called ARES. You can maybe have a look at their website to see what programs they support. If you have specific questions about admission requirements, most of the times you should ask these to the institution directly. So the university or the University of Applied Sciences that organizes the program that you're interested in. You can find all these programs on our website and also a link to their website.
I'm okay. Are you?
See if there are other questions right now. My colleagues have been very busy with trying to answer all of your questions in the chat, but we really are receiving a lot of them. We will share the PowerPoint presentation afterwards in PDF form on our website, but only the English version, of course. Somebody's asking for a French translation, but it's not something we will support. The country list is also on our website. There's a student asking if Nigeria is part of the country list. This is not the case. So please check this very well on our website. There's also a question about somebody who just completed their bachelor's but haven't received the transcript and certificate, if they can apply with using the results, the testimonial of results. This depends on the program you're applying to. Some programs accept preliminary certificates or letters from the program, but again, this is really specific to each program. So we will put the PowerPoint of this presentation on our website, and together we will also put the recording of the entire session on YouTube and a link to it on our website. So you can you can listen back to it. If you have more questions that are not answered, please contact us through email. You can send all of your questions to scholarships@VLIRUOS.be. And also please follow us on our social media, so all of the platforms that are relevant. We will keep the chat going for a little while, but I will end the presentation at this point. I wish you very well with the application process, and maybe hope to see you in September. I will keep the chat going, so if you still have questions, you can post them there.